Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Nikhil, and welcome back to another in-depth review. I'm covering Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince again. I'm a day early. I know I've done that before, but I'm just gonna jump right into it. I don't want to waste too much time. Um, anyway, let's just jump right into it. So this movie starts off obviously incredibly dark with the dark opening, Warner Bros. Logos and all type of stuff. Nah, just kidding. I'm not going to talk about that. I like how it recaps the last film, Order of the Phoenix, which is great because this is from Order of the Phoenix onwards. It's like it recaps what happened in the last film. In Order of the Phoenix, it was involving Cedric dying. In this film, it's involving what happened in the end of the last movie. As Chris Suckman says, Harry feels darker, like something growing inside of it is like growing dark inside of it, if you know what I mean. And this movie really shows that this movie is about Dumbledore and Harry with that like quick opening, and I love that. It's such a great way to set up this movie. I also love how this movie starts off. It's very like intense, very exciting, action packed, and we're not super action packed, but we get to see the Dementors, we get to see Greyback, and all the type of stuff, and them destroying the bridge. That was a really cool sequence. I love how David Yates directed that. This movie is also the most darkest film in the Harry Potter franchise in terms of like aesthetic. It has this very dark feel to it. The cinematography is amazing though. It's a beautiful looking movie, but it's also the most expensive because, funny enough, it is actually the most expensive Harry Potter movie ever made. And it's because of the cinematography. It's a very dark looking film. At times you don't know what's going on, but still, it still worked very, very well. This is also much more funnier than some of the other films, like David Yates' last film, Order of the Phoenix, which I can understand now. Because coming on the heels of that film, you can understand why he wanted it to be a little more lighthearted within all the darkness. Like this movie does obviously start building. In case you don't know, with Harry and Ginny, they have their first kiss. That kiss is fine. It's okay. For a first kiss, it's not that bad. But there's love triangles and all type of stuff. We get Lavender Brown in this movie and all that. And by the way, this came out 2009. 2 years after Order of the Phoenix. So again, another age gap. But the last three movies were kind of filmed like back to back to back, I guess. Well, I don't know about this film, but they came out like a year apart from each other, roughly speaking. Around about that time. But anyway, so this movie, obviously, the biggest thing to take away is Dumbledore dying. Yes, Dumbledore does die at the end of this movie, and when he dies, it hits home incredibly well. So, if I was to talk in depth about this movie, talk about the scenes, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time because I actually have to do something else after this. I'm not even joking. Anyway, so that's beside the point. But, so like I said, it starts off incredibly dark, and Harry and Ginny, from the moment Harry reunites with her in this movie, you can already tell it's a much more darker, sorry. Let me change my words. I'm still talking about the darkness about this movie, which it is dark, by the way. Harry, when he reunites with her, has this like, there's like this pause, like, he hugs her and then there's like this pause and then they both step back like, okay, this is kind of awkward. And you can see they're lingering, and it's purposely done in a way because it's to show like, okay, I can understand what's going to happen in this movie now. I think I can get in all type of stuff. There's obviously great chemistry between the main three kids, Harry, Ron, Hermione, and all type of stuff. This movie is just jealousy between Hermione and Ron and all that type of stuff. It's a teen drama movie at its core as well. And I don't care what everyone says. I didn't mind it. But when you really think about it, this movie is based on the book focusing on one thing and one thing alone. And that's not just the Half-Blood Prince, which I'll talk about later, but Tom Riddle's past. I wish this movie had more of it. If this movie focused on Tom Riddle's past more than the teen drama stuff, it would have been so much better. Like I said, I didn't mind the teen drama stuff, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like the Lavender Brown character and all that. That storyline was so bizarre, so weird. I do, however, love Hermione like using her magic in secret and like saying spells to herself and like making like, what's the guy that guy that has a crush on her and all that, and Ron's getting jealous. There's a lot of like stuff like that. And it's more played for humor. There's a lot of comedy in this movie. It's very funny. The best part of this movie is easily when Harry gets like drunk or high, whatever you want to call it, when he takes the liquid rock. It is so funny. And Daniel Radcliffe is just so happy. He's like, hi. It's so funny. I love that scene so much. And so Aragorn's like, Harry, and he's like, sir. It's hilarious. It truly, really is funny. Very funny. I love that scene so much. However, Aragog does die in this movie, but we don't see how. That's also another little like thing that I wish we would have seen a little more explanation of, but it works so well. Now, Tom Riddle's memories. I love how they're handled. We just needed a little bit more of them. I love that Tom Riddle had a connection to Slughorn, and that Harry also had a connection to Slughorn, and the same lines of dialogue they're saying to each other. Like, I came across this rather odd piece of magic and all type of stuff. It works so well. And then Slughorn fires back at him, and he finds that he figures like Dumbledore has put him up to this and all type of stuff. Like, he gets so mad and all that. Well, not mad, but still. There's barely a lot of Hagrid in this movie, which is kind of sad, but it still works when he's on screen. Let me just say that. Draco Malfoy, this guy changes completely. Like, all of a sudden, he's like this big part in the story that's like a Death Eater, and it is part of the plan to kill Dumbledore. And Snape makes a vow in this movie, known as the Unbreakable Vow, which obviously, if you don't do it, you die apparently. So yeah, that's what Ron says to Harry in this movie as well, on the train, and yeah, so Snape, obviously, if you've seen the last two movies, does die, but he still commits the vow because he has to step in for Draco, because Draco's scared, he can't kill Dumbledore. Draco is just not the same kid anymore. He's not just a bully, he's far more evil now, and you can definitely see why, because he curses a girl, what's her name? Forgot the name, Katie and whatever. But still, it works for his character, because his character is growing darker as well. Like Harry, they're all changing, they're all growing up completely to what they originally were. In the first room, they're like, yeah, okay, I don't like you, I like you, or that type of stuff. But now, it's like, wow, this is some serious stuff, guys. And by the way, this cover, the 4K cover, as you can see that I'm showing right now, for this review video, whatever you want to call it, that's all like the memories of different people, and it definitely goes to show that Dumbledore keeps these memories for a reason. Like, there's so many different memories and all type of stuff, and Slughorn allows Harry to collect a memory from his part so that Harry can see the true memory, because one of Tom Riddle's memories has been tampered with, and guess who tampered it? Slughorn. Now, speaking of Professor Slughorn, that guy is amazing. Jim Broadbent is fantastic as this character. He is so hilarious at times, very funny and all that. And he's like to Ron, good to see you, Wallenby. It's so funny, I love it. The humor in this movie is great. Luna wears this funny like costume and all that, kind of like the mascot for the house and all type of stuff. The Quidditch scenes are obviously exciting and all type of stuff. Now, there obviously isn't Voldemort in this movie, but his presence is still felt. And that's great. The final act of this movie is also very, very, very exciting. Very sad though, and very depressing. The music, Dumbledore's funeral's music is so like, it's just very powerful, emotional, sad stuff. It works very well. And I love how, like, to pay tribute to him, like, all the Hogwarts students and professors and all that, they're all raising their wands up as a sign of respect. You can see even Luna doing that. She's crying as well, obviously. And speaking of Luna, we get a little more of her in this movie, which is great. You know what's funny? When I was younger, because I saw her, I was like, who is this? I didn't even know. This was me when I was 9 or 10. I was like one of the dumbest kids. I'm not even joking. Alright? And I thought, Luna's like Draco's girlfriend or something. I was so dumb, alright? Now obviously we know it's not. I don't know why, but when I was 9 years old, 10 years old, I thought Luna was Draco's girlfriend. Because they had the same hair color. What a dumb guy I was back then. But anyway. Yeah. I've talked about the main scenes of this movie, but there's still some other scenes I don't talk about, particularly the Inferi scene when they're going to the cave. There's a bit of a jump scare and all type of stuff. That's cool. That's really cool. I love that scene. It's very intense, and then Dumbledore, of course, saves the day by using his wand and casting this fire spell and all that. It's really, really cool. It's like the same cover of the book, actually, if you remember. And speaking of that scene, it's very like hard to watch at times because Dumbledore is going through pain. And Harry's like, you have to keep drinking, sir, because Dumbledore told him to. And he keeps going, and it works so well. And then they find the locket. They find the locket after all the water's gone, and it works really, really well. And I love that. I really, really do. So, yeah. And Snape in this movie. Snape also, you kind of see like him like switching sides and all type of stuff. You can definitely tell that Snape is more than meets the eye now, especially in this movie, and the way he makes the Unbreakable Vow We also get to see Draco's mother for the first time, Narcissa Malfoy, and you find out that Bellatrix Lestrange, or Snape calls her Bella in this one part of the scene of the movie, and Narcissa Malfoy are sisters. So Bellatrix is Draco's aunt. That's a bit weird when you really think about it, right? Yeah. So like I said, Voldemort is not in this movie, but his presence is still felt. I also love how Horace Slughorn is introduced in his house. It's very funny, very hilarious. I really enjoyed that scene. And I also love Harry and Ginny. It's like moments together. It's kind of awkward, but it's still like kind of cute. I don't mind it, alright? Say what you will about the relationship, I don't mind it. However, I'm still a Harry and Hermione supporter all the way. I'm not gonna say anything else. That's just me. Wait till you see Deathly Hallows Part 1. Then things get even crazier. They even have better chemistry than Ron, Hermione, and all type of stuff. And Ron, man. Ron is just like in love with Lavender Brown, and then he doesn't even know half the time because he took the liquid walk and all that type of stuff. But he's just acting crazy and all type of stuff. They kiss, Hermione gets jealous, and that's where the whole like love triangle thing starts. Well, not real love triangle. It's a better love story than Twilight, right? That's what everyone's probably gonna say. Now, overall, I know this was not a very long review. Cinematography wise, like I said, it's great. The music is great. It's directed well. The humor, the writing of the humor is fantastic. It's just written well. All the Harry Potter movies have great dialogue and all that. The last movie though, the dialogue felt is different though. But I didn't really feel it. But if you're wondering why that is, it's because, well, that was the only film, Order of the Phoenix, to not be written by Steve Kloves. It was written by Michael Goldsberg or something, I can't remember. And yes, Steve Kloves came back to write this movie and it worked so well. The music was also great. The same composer from the last film. What's his name? Nico Suba, I believe. Yeah, he did a great job. The last two movies though, that's when things really start going up. I cannot wait to talk about Deathly Hallows Part 1 next month and Deathly Hallows Part 2 in November. It's going to be exciting. Also, guys, I do want to say I saw a really good movie just now. I recently finished watching it and I'm talking about another movie, which is kind of funny. And that was Charade or Charade or however you say it, starring Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant. I really like that movie. I'm not going to do a review, but all I can say is that I would give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed myself in that movie. That was surprisingly very entertaining, yeah. But I could do that for another video. But anyway, guys, overall, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Like I said, this is not a long, in-depth review. I know you guys probably wanted more from me from this review, but I have to do some stuff after that, or uni work, whatever. But anyway, guys, great movie. I know I couldn't talk in more in depth. Oh yeah, there is one more thing I do want to talk about. The Half-Blood Prince scene. That reveal is awesome. The fact that you think Snape is the Half-Blood, you don't think Snape is the Half-Blood Prince until you see him. You're like, wow, this looks so well. But then again, potions teacher, whatever. At first I thought it was Tom Riddle. Yeah, I was dumb again when I was a kid. But anyway, love this movie. Love the characters. The final act, the third act of this movie is obviously insane. Wait to get to Deathly Hallows Part 1, Part 2 though. That's a whole nother level. This is on the bottom end of my Harry Potter films list. It's not as good as Order of the Phoenix in terms of pacing, but it still works. There are some pacing issues. There are some things I don't like, the love triangles and all that, whatever. But still, great movie. 8 out of 10. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is done, guys. 6 down, 2 more to go. Next month, Deathly Hallows Part 1. Looking forward to that. Also, a surprise series is starting next month as well. A series of reviews that I can't wait to talk about, guys. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before. Scream. I'll just say now. I'm planning to review the Scream movies next month. Watch them with my friend for the first time. That's exciting. It's also October next month, so that's the perfect one to talk about horror movies, right? Anyway, guys, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. My name is Akil, otherwise known as the Comic Director, and I'm signing out.